A very good evening and welcome to a Date with a Dinner Set programme 282 on December the 14th. I don't know about you, but that seemed a mighty quick week to me. And as usual, of course, because it's the UK, we've had the whole range of weather, haven't we? We've had extreme rain and some very cold mornings as well, and some lovely sunshine. I believe there is an Arctic snap on the way, who knows. Anyway, you are most welcome to this evening's live programme here on A Date with a Dinner Set. It's very good to be with you again with only 11 sleeps until Christmas. I know, it's exciting, isn't it? And in our programme tonight, you can expect us to reflect things that have been going on in the world, and indeed things that are going to be going on as we look towards Christmas in the second part of our programme this evening. I'm just glancing down to see if anyone has got our opening bit of music from this evening. A jolly, jaunty little number that introduced a television series all the way back from 1995. I do know what you mean by almost like Teddy Bear's Picnic. It was Oh, Dr. Beeching. Does anyone remember that? Oh, Dr. Beeching from 1995, a David Croft programme. I don't remember watching more than about one episode and deciding I didn't like it really. But I think it ran for about 20 episodes, and I do remember the theme music quite clearly, which is what you just heard as the opening to our programme this evening. And I always knew it was a bit of pastiche because the TV series was set in the 1950s, but it was actually based on this song, Oh Mr. Porter. Well done, Hannah. Very good. Yes. Oh, Mr. Porter was the song from 1892, written by George LeBrun. I couldn't find a photo, so I just did a little hand drawing there of George LeBrun, who was a very well-known music hall composer and composed hundreds of songs, including that one, Oh Mr. Porter, which had its words rewritten and the tune refashioned to suit Oh Dr. Beeching, and it was arranged by this chap, Roy Moore, who's done a lot of TV work, including, as you can see on your screen, Allo Allo. So I'm not quite sure why that one came into my head as our opening music this evening, but that is indeed what it was. Oh, Dr. Beeching. Originally, Oh, Mr. Porter from 1892. Hannah, that's just showing off. Okay. Fantastic. It really is very good to see you all here on A Date with a Dinner Set, programme 282 on December the 14th. I hope you've had a good week as we race towards Christmas. So quite a mixture on this evening's programme, and certainly in the second part we give our nod towards Christmas. But lots and lots of other things to address musically before that. So I do hope you will enjoy this evening's programme. If you're with us live and you're in the chat room and you want to join in the chat, then please feel free to do so. And we will talk a little bit about the songs in between each one. If you're watching on the catch-up, as indeed most of you do, then you're very welcome to comment on the video beneath, and I hope you do enjoy this evening's selection. Thank you, Moore. Thank you. As if by magic, between our opening music and me wittering away like a fool, we have decorated. I know, I work quickly on these things, you see. Yeah. Hannah, look what you've started now, you see. Everyone's jealous of your youth. Although, in all fairness, we've got somebody much younger than you with more in the chat room currently. So there we go. Now, look, I need to have some coffee. And then we will launch into our first bit of music, which is very special this evening, I think. Hello, Maggie and Jerry. Very nice to see you. Fantastic. Hello, Ross. Brilliant. Yeah, so a little tribute to the wonderful Mr. Dick Van Dyke, who turned 100 years old yesterday. So two of his most famous tunes, both from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, as Hannah said. So yeah, wonderful Mr. Dick Van Dyke was 100 yesterday. I have had such fun this week looking for photos of Dick Van Dyke, and every single photo he's grinning. He is so happy with life. What a talented actor, singer, dancer, etc. Quite amazing that he's celebrating his 100th birthday. Yeah, so that was our little tribute. Both songs, as we say, from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. First of all, the title song, of course, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, the film from 1968, based on the Ian Fleming novel, with a screenplay by Roald Dahl, and featuring music all the way through, composed, whoops, no, not by Sammy Davis Jr. Dear, oh dear. Oh, they've gone. Never mind. The Sherman brothers composed the music to that, Richard and Robert Sherman. And we know the Sherman brothers, of course, so much for all the wonderful work they did with Walt Disney. At the time of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, they were having a little bit of a rest from the Walt Disney Corporation. I'm smiling wryly because I'm not quite sure what went on in those days, but they certainly fell out a little bit, and then went back to Disney. So that was our little tribute to the wonderful Mr. Dick Van Dyke. And indeed, I did a slightly different upload, which had Chim Chim Cheree, the Oscar-winning song from Mary Poppins, and HUSHABYE Mountain again. That's on the channel. That went up as the upload on the Friday. I was a bit sneaky because he hadn't reached 100 then, but I wanted to get it up in advance. And it's getting a nice bit of traction, that video. So that's very pleasing to see how many people also admire the talent and skill of Mr. Dick Van Dyke. So that was our opening one this evening, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and HUSHABYE Mountain, our little tribute to the wonderful Mr. Dick Van Dyke. I'm staring at my bank of buttons here thinking, well, what happened to that picture I had of Richard and Robert Sherman with Chitty Chitty Bang Bang? Because it's not on the button that it says it's on, so I'm just slightly intrigued by that. It'll turn up somewhere where we don't want it, probably, so you can look out for that. Coffee, and then we're on to the next one. Brother, I hope you're awake for this one. Indeed, of the handyman, that well-known that well-known song, indeed, as Mr. Moore has said, for Sweet Shop Scene from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Good evening, Jill, just in time. Yes, you spelt it correctly this evening, Jill. Do you remember that time back in 2021? Classic. Mark, you will know why we had that this evening. It was because of your hopeless answer that you gave last week when I played Sweet Gingerbread Man. I thought, well, we have to have that. It's a great song, isn't it? The Candyman, originally from 1971. Now here, I love this picture. This is of its time, this picture. The composers, Mr. Leslie Bricusse, the music, and Anthony Newley, the lyrics. There has to be a great story to that picture, doesn't there? But yeah, the 1971 version of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Again, gosh, there's an interesting connection. A screenplay by Roald Dahl as well. Yeah, so in the original film, the sweet shop owner was played by somebody called Aubrey Woods. And his performance caused a huge number of problems with the production team because the composers, particularly Anthony Newley, absolutely hated the way he sang it. He said he had no presence at all. And there were all sorts of arguments and legal things to try and get rid of him. It didn't happen. But in actual fact, something in a way better happened. I'm going to press this button. I hope it's the right person. Yes, it is. Mr. Sammy Davis Jr., there's a jacket and a half, made it a great big hit. In fact, it was a number one hit for Sammy Davis Jr. He was asked to record that. And I think I can say this about Sammy Davis Jr. I mean, he doesn't mince his words. He said of this song, I can't stand that Candyman song. It stinks. It stinks right down the toilet, not just the rim, all the way down. It's being flushed down the toilet along with my career. Was sort of what he said about that song. However, how wrong he was, the wonderful Mr. Sammy Davis Jr., because it became a worldwide hit for him and indeed his only number one hit. It's a great song. So there we go. I'm going to press this button now to remind anybody who's just tuned in to this, maybe by accident, you poor people. We would love to have you subscribe to YouTube Gigi the Piano Man and join our merry little community. As I said at the top of the programme, it's been quite a week of weather, hasn't it? Well, it always has, hasn't it? Because we have such topsy-turvy, crazy weather in the UK. But we've had frost, we've had sun, and I said we'd have an Arctic blast, and lo and behold, it snowed within minutes. Within minutes of me saying that, it snowed all over the piano. We've also had heaps of rain, and depending where you are in the country, I suspect that some of you have had even more than that. Do enjoy our next slightly less frenetic bit of music, which we've had several times before, but you may not know its title. There may be a clue on the way. We've lulled you all into complete and utter silence, unlike the rain. That was the song from 1953, Here's That Rainy Day, and that was sort of a bit of a sort of statement on some of the weather we've had this week. We've had that 7 times in the past 5 years. It's one of my favourite songs by, God, I can't move on this piano, by the wonderful Mr. Jimmy Van Heusen. There you go. There's a few of his trinkets that he was awarded over the years. He also wrote hundreds of songs. Come Fly With Me, Call Me Irresponsible, Love and Marriage, etc., etc. But that is a very beautiful song that was recorded by Nat King Cole amongst other people. Here's That Rainy Day from 1953. It seemed appropriate to mention that. It also seems appropriate to do another mention of what we've been talking about the last few weeks, and the time has come round so quickly. It is most bizarre, really, isn't it? But next Sunday the 21st, is when everybody that has requested something for the programme, I am going to be doing your requests next Sunday. So we've got 6 or 7 if we can fit them all in next Sunday. And then a very special live programme on Wednesday the 24th at 5 o'clock. And that's we've done that every year. It's just the quiet side of Christmas. No chat from me, so that's why it's quiet mainly. It's the sort of non-stop, the sort of calm bit, whilst you sort of munch on mince pies, stuff your whatnots, and indeed wrap your other whatnots. It's a very pleasant time together, and I do it just before I rush off to the hotel and play music on Christmas Eve. So that's what's coming up. So all your requests that you submitted are going to take place during next Sunday's programme 283 on the 21st of December. Right, fingers on buzzers. Here's a very well-known one. Oh dear, Maggie. I think we'll have to call that doing a Maggie. Yeah, I don't really know how you managed to do it, but well done for whatever it is you do to get the sound mixed up with a different video. Fantastic indeed it was. Who said it? Jill and Mark, indeed. Winter Wonderland from 1934. Gosh, that's almost as old as some of you. That's a long time, isn't it? I didn't realise it was that old. A classic winter, Christmas, holiday song, all the way from 1934, composed by Mr. Felix Bernard. And yeah, we don't really need to say much more about that, do we? One of the most successful recordings of it originally was by Mr. Guy Lombardo, but of course it's been done by, well, almost everyone since then. It's a sort of happy, jolly, Christmassy, wintry piece, isn't it? And it seemed appropriate as we lurch towards Christmas to include that one this evening. Do press the thumbs up button, and we would love to have your like if you like what you see and indeed you hear on A Date with the Dinner Set. Something quieter again. Lizzie, it's fantastic to see you. Wow, amazing. Yes, yes. As Hannah and indeed my brother said, do you hear what I hear? From 1962, that wonderful song. And composed by this lady. I had to squash her a bit. She has so much hair, I couldn't get it in. Gloria, Shayne. And she wrote that with her husband at the time. And what I didn't know about this song, Do You Hear What I Hear, which I've always sort of known as a nice, quiet Christmas carol, it was sort of a peace protest as well, because even though it is a very, very Christmassy, let's call it a song that references Matthew's gospel and indeed the nativity scene, it doesn't actually mention Jesus at all, but it does talk a lot about peace, and it was because it was composed at the time of the Cuba Missile Crisis. Now, I didn't know that, and when you find out these little things, it gives a whole new poignancy, doesn't it, to what is a very lovely bit of music. We have that one quite often on our Christmas Eve programme, but because I don't talk like a fool on Christmas Eve, then we don't often get a chance to put in the background information about it. And it seemed nice to do a quiet one, particularly as today, the 14th of December, the second Sunday in December, is Worldwide Candle Lighting Day. Always on the second Sunday in December. You may recall that we have talked about this before on A Date with a Dinner Set, and it's the chance to light a candle and to remember someone or more than one person very special in our lives. And I think it's rather nice to have that set aside, if you like, as a time for remembering. So that is one of the reasons for having that quiet bit of music. And indeed, with safety first, there is water at hand. I have also lit a candle, and I don't think it's in danger of setting fire to it. Well, we will see, won't we? The joy of live television, eh? You never know what could happen on A Date with a Dinner Set. Now look, we're about to launch into our final bit of music this evening, and we're going to end with a jolly and seasonal one. Now here's a true story. Yesterday morning I was playing in a concert, and unfortunately most of the audience, when I played this, because I was asked to play this as a solo, thought I was playing Roll Out the Barrel. And it's a bit like you, Mark, really. You know, it was a suggestion a bit like one of yours, really. I'm not about to play Roll Out the Barrel, but something a little more appropriate for the season. I hope you'll enjoy our final bit of music before we talk about it in a little way and say goodnight. So do enjoy our final bit of music. Yes, we need a little Christmas, as you have lots of you correctly identified from Mame from 1966, the musical composed by Mr. Jerry Herman. And that was a song sung by the main character, Mame, when she's just heard that she's lost everything in the 1929 Wall Street crash. So decides they need cheering up with a little bit of Christmas. So that was the end of our program this evening on A Date with a Dinner Set. I do hope you have enjoyed this evening's merry selection. And I will remember to extinguish the candle and indeed the Christmas lights until it is time to play for you again. So I do hope you have a very good week that is to come. Thank you so much for being with us on A Date with a Dinner Set this evening on the 14th of December. Next Sunday's programme will contain all the requests that you have submitted. Have a fantastic week. Do take very good care of yourselves and avoid those nasty flu bugs, eh? See you next week. All the very best and good night.